Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, that's Spease, and today we are looking at Psycho, released in 1960. Psycho was directed by Alfred Hitchcock and stars Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, John Gavin, Martin Balsam, John McIntire, John Anderson, Simon Oakland, and Pat Hitchcock. Psycho was written by Joseph Stefano based on the original novel Psycho, which was written by Robert Bloch. Alfred Hitchcock directed this film with his TV crew from his Alfred Hitchcock Presents TV series. And shot it in black and white so that he could save money for the studio, so that he could have the casts that he wanted in this, such as Janet Leigh and of course Anthony Perkins. Now, Anthony Perkins is legendary as Norman Bates. He plays him with such sweetness and kindness that by the end of the film, with the what should have been a sudden twist, that he is a split personality and has his Norman persona as well as his mother, the Norma persona, dominating him at certain points. Janet Leigh masterfully plays Marion Crane. And in one of the biggest twists in film history, Alfred Hitchcock ends up killing this big actress in like the midway point of the movie. Vera Miles plays her sister, Lila Crane, and John Gavin plays her boyfriend, Sam Loomis. Yeah, Sam Loomis. That is the name that John Carpenter was inspired to use for his psychiatrist character in Halloween. It came from this movie. Martin Balsam plays in this as Arbogast, a private investigator who is brought in to find out where Janet Leigh went, or Marion Crane went. He meets with a similar end as Marion. John McIntire plays Sheriff Chambers in here, and he has such a delivery of his lines. It's just, his most famous line is the whole,
"Well, if the woman up there is Mrs. Bates, who's that woman buried out in Green Lawn Cemetery?"
And the way he delivers that line, I mean, it is so creepy. It just leaves you with a chill down your spine. And if you don't feel that, we must not be watching the same movie. John Anderson, great character actor, ends up playing the car dealer that Marion runs into on her way to her fateful demise at the Bates Motel. He has some really good moments in there, including his big line.
You are in a hurry, aren't you? Somebody chasing you?
Of course not. Please.
Well, it's the first time the customer ever high-pressured the salesman.
The other notable actors in this film are Simon Oakland as Dr. Richmond. He appears in the very end explaining Norman's condition. I've heard that this character and this Simon's portrayal and everything in this scene was tacked on at the end. Alfred Hitchcock did not want that in there, but the studio wanted an explanation. So that's what Simon Oakland's Dr. Richmond represents as a character in there. The other notable name in here, which not really a name, she was mostly known for playing small roles in Alfred Hitchcock's movies or on Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And that is Pat Hitchcock, who plays Caroline. She's in the opening of the film. She is a friend of Marion's that she works with at the bank. But yeah, this film is one of the great classics. And there's a reason for that. The great music by Bernard Herrmann. The score is just awesome. Even before Norman kills Marion. That music, you know something is coming. You just don't know what it is until it happens. And then you get that music cue. The shower scene is the most famous film in cinema history. And for a reason. Scenes like this were very seldom ever done in a film back in this time period. So, having a shower scene and a woman stabbed to death in the shower, no less, was groundbreaking. As was the shot of a toilet being flushed. One would not think that this would be a groundbreaking thing in films, but it had not been shown before in films until Psycho. But Alfred Hitchcock stuck by that and wanted that in there because it was key to the scene, because people had to see her tearing up the paper and throwing it in the toilet and flushing it. Alfred Hitchcock was fully committed to this film, and it shows with every frame of this film. All the acting in it, pretty much all around the board, is solid. Anthony Perkins is great, as I've already mentioned. Janet Leigh, while she's in it, she is very likable, even though her character is doing something that we know is against the law. And she should suffer for it, but she should not die. Vera Miles is very interesting as a quite different character than her sister. Her attitude is really different, which is cool, because you don't want the two sisters to be very identical, as far as their identities in the film. And John Gavin as Sam Loomis is, I like John Gavin. He played a very great role in Spartacus. And I loved him in that. I mean, he played a damn good role in that. But in this, he's kind of just there. He's not bad, but he's not one of the best performers in this. Now, if you want to look to the best, you look at Martin Balsam as Arbogast. He's so likable as this character that you genuinely care about him, that whenever he is offed on that stairwell, although it's dated now, the way that he goes tumbling down the stairs, which I've heard they shot it different ways. Maybe they actually did shoot an actual real tumble but for whatever reason, Hitchcock didn't like any of those other takes, and he went with the one he shot for it. But yeah, I mean, Psycho is a classic film that can never be duplicated. Hence the reason why the Gus Van Sant shot-for-shot remake can't hold a candle to this film. I don't give a shit if it's in color or not. If you wanted Psycho in color, just colorize the 1960 film. Pretty simple. Don't shoot a shot-for-shot version of this great film. It dilutes it. And plus, it was not made to be in color. It works well with that black and white aesthetic to it. Alfred Hitchcock directed one of the greatest films of all time here. And I'll say that to my dying day. My review of Psycho. I give this film a 9.0 out of 10. It is a great classic film. And the masterful way that Alfred Hitchcock pulls you into the story before any carnage even happens is so perfect. If you have not seen this movie, I implore you to find it and watch it now. Anyway, what do you think? Do you agree with my review? What do you think of Psycho? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this review, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it really does help my channel out. So, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.